Hey guys, it's Jay, and today I'm going to be joined by my old friend Sterling, who
Hello.
who used to work with me at Blockbuster for several years, and we are going to bring you three great movies you may have never heard of, plus whatever garbage Sterling decided to bring to the table.
Mine are wonderful. All right, number 6 is going to be The Adventures of Buckaroo Bonzai through the Eighth Dimension.
No one cares.
Great movie. Everyone should care because it is a wonderful movie with tons of actors that you should know about. Peter Weller, you all know about him. He's RoboCop. John Lithgow. You got Jeff Goldblum, who's been in everything. The movie is over the top, crazy silly, and all the character actors is a who's who from every other movie. Christopher Lloyd's in this movie from like everything he's done, right? And he's just a bit bad guy in the background. He says like maybe two lines, I think, throughout the entire movie. The movie is insane. Buckaroo Banzai, the main character, Peter Weller, he's like a samurai neurosurgeon, head of a rock group that goes around solving crimes. It's like Scooby Doo on acid.
Jeez, he's better at more stuff than the new Star Wars chick.
Yeah, yeah, but it probably is. But it is worth watching this movie. It is over the top, silly, and it's fun. John Lithgow's bad guy. Dr. Lazario is one of the most wild, over the top characters you'll ever see in any movie. Phenomenal. That's number 6.
And the first good movie, or number 5, is going to be Interstate 60, and this movie is absolutely I don't want to say absolutely incredible. This movie's really good. That's why it's number 5. Absolutely incredible will be much higher on the list. This is a yellow brick road story about a guy driving down an interstate that doesn't exist, and it's completely driven by the scenery he comes across, like a town with.
If it's Yellow Brick Road, are there munchkins in it?
You're a munchkin.
Well, it can be, but just curious. Just curious.
No, it's a rated R yellow brick road. Thank you very much.
There we go.
Yeah,
All right.
which means there should be munchkins because they're the right height.
It should be. It should be. Probably entertaining, but anyways, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's completely driven by the scenery, like a town that has legalized drugs and slavery. And, later on he runs into a town where everything is illegal, including trying to think of more things to make illegal. It's really, really interesting and creative. And it's completely driven by characters, from a woman who can't say no to a man who, no matter how much he eats, he can't get full, to a guy who completely detests lying. I don't want to give too much away about his character. He is amazing. And the cast is a who's who of, hey, it's that guy from that thing, starring people like Cyclops, Commissioner Gordon, Marty McFly, Doc Brown, Snake Plissken, that guy from Everything, the hot chick from Crank, even Kimberly, the Pink Ranger.
Wait, Snake Plissken? Why isn't that movie in this list?
Because I'm not as old as you.
Well, I love that movie. All right, number 4, and it's my favorite number. The number is my favorite number, but 4 is Heavenly Creatures, which is a great movie by
Is that because it's the first number of your age?
pretty much almost. We're almost there, but not quite. But anyways, Heavenly Creatures is by Peter Jackson. Early movie because before he did the Lord of the Rings, and I'm going to try not to talk about all the other movies because I got made fun of for listening to every movie on the song Peter Jackson. But before he made all the Lord of the Rings movies, he did Frighteners, and this movie is what got him the chops and the backing from the studios to do Frighteners. This movie is based on true story New Zealand. It's Kate Winslet's either her first movie.
Jackson's obsessed with New Zealand.
He is. That's where he's from. I think, right? I think, yeah, he's New Zealand. It's a good movie, or a good place. I haven't been there, but hey,
It's not Australia.
looks pretty. It's not. I think they compete all the time about Australia. Yeah, it's all right. But anyways, I digress. Heavenly Creatures, great movie. Kate Winslet. If it's not her first movie, I think it's her first. It was not, it's early on, and it's the chick that played Rose, the psychotic neighbor in Two and a Half Men. I think her name's Melanie Linsky. Anyways, it's two girls. They're 15, 16-year-old, and they conspire to kill one of the girls' moms. It's based on true story. They actually did commit the murder. It's creepy because they actually read excerpts from their diary in the movie, the diary that was used part of the trial that put these two girls in jail. It's an insane movie. The special effects is Weta, Peter Jackson's company that he put together for this movie and kept it going to make the movies for like Frighteners and Lord of the Rings and so on. And it just has an insane dream sequence in the middle with people made of clay. You kind of have to see it to understand how wild and weird it is. But the movie's worth watching.
I've seen claymation before.
Yeah, it's claymation on crack. It's worth watching. Oh, well, crack's never good, but it's a good movie. Anyways, Heavenly Creatures number 4, and it is a good movie, no matter what Jay says.
And coming to number 3 is Stardust. And I'll be honest, I desperately wish I could make this movie higher on the list because it is an amazing movie. This is a lighthearted fantasy movie in the same vein as The Princess Bride. That's how I usually sell it to people. I tell them, if you like The Princess Bride, you'll love this movie. And to be honest, I've only ever met one person who didn't like The Princess Bride, and I'm very relieved that that person is no longer in my life.
I hate it.
Primarily because,
Well, no, I'm just teasing. I like it. Everyone loves Princess Bride.
yeah.
It's all right.
God, man.
How can you not like the movie?
Jeez.
Sorry.
I almost lost a friend right
threw
there.
a little,
I'm sorry.
Little argument in there, a little brain fart for you.
Where was I?
I don't know. You're talking about how you lost a friend because they didn't like Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because Anyway, Stardust is fantastic. It's the story of a guy who crosses the gate into a magical realm in an attempt to impress a girl, because who's never done that before? And he finds himself tangling with flying pirates, evil witches, bloodthirsty princes, and just the whole thing from beginning to end is just a trip through a genius's imagination. And the cast is incredible. I don't know how this movie didn't get bigger based on name recognition alone. It's starring the voice of Gandalf, Prince Caspian, Daredevil, Superman, Sum O'Toole, Merlin, Benjamin Button's dad, Prince Charming, Catwoman, Juliet, James Conway, and that comedian you just can't escape. This is one that you have to see. It's fantastic.
It is written by Neil Gaiman, too, for you Doctor Who fans out there.
Neil Diamond?
Neil Gaiman.
Oh, Neil.
Different than Neil Diamond. Although, I would love to see a movie written by Neil Diamond.
That would be an amazing movie.
That would be an amazing movie. All right, number 2 is going to be Grosse Point Blank. Phenomenal movie from the 90s.
Wait, when did this movie come out?
98 maybe?
And
Late 90s?
When did Heavenly Creatures come out?
Before that.
When did Highway to Hell come out?
Well, we didn't talk about Highway to Hell. It was Buckaroo Bonzai was the first one. Highway to Hell is a good movie.
I'm sorry.
Buckaroo Bonzai, 80s, mid 80s, maybe 86. Maybe.
You are so old.
I am. That's all right. It's all right. They're good movies anyways. Grosse Point Blank. Stars John Cusack, Dan Aykroyd, Minnie Driver. My favorite character in the entire movie is John Cusack's sister, Joan. She even gets called Sergeant Pepper, which is phenomenal. The reference is great.
Best character in every movie she's in.
She's always the best character in every movie she's in. Always. Look at the movie Toys with Robin Williams. Her character is the best, and I love Robin Williams. But anyways, Grosse Point Blank, great, funny movie. John Cusack plays a hitman that.
Robin Williams didn't love Robin Williams.
No, that's too bad. That's a sad day. But we have someone in the background that kind of whimpered on that one. Anyways, Grosse Point Blank, like I said, he plays Martin Gross. He goes back to his high school, and he's been a hitman for a long time, comes back, or he gets kind of forced to go back to his reunion because he didn't want to go back there by his assistant, which is played by his sister Joan. And the whole time, he's having a hard time. He's calling a therapist on the phone, just having a hard time dealing with going back home. Freaks out the therapist. The therapist trying to, on the phone, is getting scared of his life and trying to, like, run away and hide. He deals with Dan Aykroyd as a competitive hitman. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing, but the dialogue between Dan Aykroyd and John Cusack is on a whole different level. It is phenomenal. It is great. The movie is hilarious from beginning to end. You have a wonderful fight scene in the middle with Benny the Jet Urquidez, which is a guy that John Cusack trained with for years. And it's a great, small, compact fight scene in the middle of a school up against the lockers. Pretty brutal, actually. You'll make you want to start carrying pens in your pocket for a certain reason. But anyways, you need to watch the movie. It is funny. It's great. It's worth watching, like I said earlier. And that's number 2. And all these movies are great, by the way. Just to let you know, they're all great.
And number 1, and our final good movie of the list, is Lucky Number Slevin. And to be perfectly honest, Lucky Number Slevin would be number 1 on so many different lists, including my favorite movies, because this is probably my favorite movie. It is the story of a guy named Slevin Kalevra who goes to the big city to visit his friend Nick Fisher, only to find that Nick Fisher has disappeared, and has racked up an obscene amount of gambling debt and has set up Slevin Kalevra to take the fall for it. And he finds himself involved in a civil war between two major mob bosses, trying to determine the motives of a mysterious hitman who's buzzing around town, dodging the police because if he talks to them, he's dead, and doing it all with the assistance of his adorable neighbor, played by the always amazing Lucy Liu. And I don't want to give away too much. Just know that this is an amazing movie, and if you haven't seen it, you are missing out on so much greatness.
Can you say the guy's name again? What's the character's name?
Slevin Kalevra.
Can you say it again?
Slevin Kalevra.
Phenomenal. I can never say that. All right, just curious.
I don't think you have enough Greek in you.
I don't.
It's again, this is another star-studded cast. It stars John McClane, Joan Watson, the man who literally narrated Penguins into existence, Gandhi, and I'm just going to say Josh Hartnett because, quite frankly, this is Josh Hartnett's best movie, and if I was going to do another Josh Hartnett movie, I would list him as Slevin Kalevra.
Nah, hold on. Bunraku.
You know, I told you that was off limits. You couldn't let us get through one single video without mentioning Bunraku.
If you say that's his best movie, just throwing that out there for you. Yeah, that's one to look at. The movie's narrated by Mike Patton from Faith No More.
Yeah. Thank you for making my point for me.
You're welcome. Good movie.
Josh Hartnett has had a lot of mishaps in his career, but Lucky Number Slevin is the lone diamond in the rough. It is definitely the one to see. So thanks for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again to Sterling for coming on.
Welcome. Thanks.
Be sure to see 3 of these 6 movies because they are really worth your time.
See my 3.
And goodbye.